All right, I just want to say this is really slow on my end in terms of the capture.
Okay, could you clap, but in silence? So we have the clean clap. Thanks. Okay, this is Dax and Jeff preview take one.
All right, man. Ready?
Ready.
So, welcome back, everyone. And today I'm here with Jeff Grant, SBR contributor, and we're going to take a look at that game between the Angels and the Orioles. So the Angels lost 6-7 in extra innings last night. Can we expect a similar amount of runs tonight, Jeff?
You know, I think it's going to be a different story, and as people will read my full article on sportsbookreview.com, I detail at the end of that article that the pitcher is going to be dealing with an umpire that has an insane amount of runs allowed per game in his games that he's behind home plate. So I'm definitely not expecting that, and the bullpens are really performing at a high level for both teams.
Right, and now do you think that the Angels are going to have Garrett Richards starting and with Kevin Gausman for the Orioles, do you think that they're going to have the edge, at least pitching-wise?
I definitely think so. Richards' numbers isn't so great historically against the Orioles, but he's a much different pitcher than he was a couple years ago. His last start against Baltimore was in 2012. He's a far different pitcher. He's even being discussed amongst AL Cy Young Award winners. Of course, that may go to Felix Hernandez of Seattle. On the other end, the Angels have never seen Gausman, and he's a guy that the Orioles really rushed up a couple years ago. He didn't perform at a high level his first round in the professional ranks, so they sent him back to the minors. He seems to be corrected. So I think the starting pitchers will be able to perform at a good level, and the Orioles bullpen may need to throw a few more innings than the Angels because I think Richards is going to go a bit deeper than his counterpart.
Right, so yesterday we kind of lost that bet, and are you going to keep on leaning on the Angels, or are we going to go a different way now?
We're going to go in a complete different direction. I couldn't believe the Angels finished. They had multiple opportunities to win that game last night, so it's unfortunate for our viewers that they did lose that one. But I think there's a major edge to the under in this one, Dax.
All right, thank you very much, Jeff. And I'm sorry? Fuck, dude, shit. I thought you were going to say something else. Kind of heard a little voice there. All right, so I'll just say the
go to. So I'm going to go to the total rather than the side, and then I'll explain Kerwin Danley's numbers a little more.
So do you want me to ask you again? So what's your pick? And the same thing how I led you in last time?
Exactly.
Okay, cool. All right, Jeff, so yesterday we got kind of hit with that game between the Angels and the Baltimore Orioles. Do you think we're going to lean again on the Angels, or we're going to go a different way now?
I'm going to not look at the side, and I'm going to go to the total. As I mentioned earlier in the video, Dax, the umpire, Kerwin Danley, he has an extraordinary amount of unders this season, only 5 runs per game in his home plate assignments this season. And hitters our teams are averaging just over. Let's redo it.
Okay, no worries. I'll lead you in exactly the same.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff. So yesterday we got kind of hit with that game between the Angels and the Orioles. Do you think we're going to go back again with the Angels, or we're going to take a different route now?
I'm going to look to go to the total rather than the side in this one, Dax. As I mentioned earlier in the video, Kerwin Danley's numbers behind home plate in his assignments. A lot of unders, only 5 runs per game in his assignments this season, and pitchers really have a large strike zone to work with here. So I'm going to go under the total in Wednesday night's game featuring the Angels and Orioles.
All right, I appreciate it, Jeff. Thank you very much. And for SportsbookReview.com, this is Dax Floyd. All right. Okay.
Next one is Mariners versus Indians. Take one.
Welcome back, everyone, and today I'm here with Jeff Grant, SBR contributor, and we're going to be looking at that Mariners against the Indians game. So Seattle stole the spotlight yesterday, getting a 5-2 win over the Indians. Do you think we'll see another high score on the board tonight, considering that Cleveland has won 3 of the last 4 games at home, with 3 of those cashing on the over?
You know, I think this is going to be a pitching duel. Felix Hernandez has numbers that are definitely probably going to land him the AL Cy Young Award, while Indian starter is at his best at Progressive Field, so I expect a low-scoring game here, Dax, in Game 2 of the series.
Right, okay, so being the case that you mentioned both Felix Hernandez and Corey Kluber, they've both been decent pitchers for their respective ball clubs. But being the fact that Hernandez tends to struggle a little bit in this ballpark, Do you think that the Indians will have the edge in this game?
I think that's a key factor. He doesn't struggle at many ballparks, but this is definitely one. A lot of the Indians hitters have success against Hernandez, and I think this is going to be a game that comes down to maybe a solo home run or a two-run home run. Cleveland leads the AL in home runs in the month of July. While looking on the other end, the value is solely on Kluber due to the fact that this is going to be the first time that he's not favored when taking the hill in front of the home fans. He's been one of the best home pitchers in baseball dating back to 2013.
So in this case, where are we going to lean to? And, what would be the best value for our betting picks?
One of my favorite angles, especially to tell handicappers who are just starting in the industry, you always want to back the situation in a solid spot that's never really happened before. What I mean by that is you're going to get value, and the value is solely on the Indians here. Kluber has been one of the best pitchers in baseball at his home ballpark, and this is the first time that he'll likely be a home underdog. And the early line movement, if you look at the Sportsbook Review odds page, you'll notice that the Mariners opened up as a favorite of 125. Now the betting market is virtually flat, so that tells me a lot of early money came on the Indians. Another reason why I like the Tribe in Game 2 of this series.
All right. Thank you very much, Jeff. And for SportsbookReview.com, this is Dax Voigt.
Next one is the NCAA preview, right?
Yeah, college football. Hey everyone, I'm here with Jeff Grant, SBR contributor, and today we're going to be looking at that college football match between the... Sorry. Spit. Welcome back, everyone, and today I'm with Jeff Grant, SBR contributor, and we're going to be looking at that game between the... Sorry, dude. Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm here with Jeff Grant, SBR contributor, and we're going to be looking at that college football game between Rice and Notre Dame. So, Jeff, Rice won their first outright league title since 1957, but it seems like they're kind of being punished this year as they're going to be matched up in Week 1 against the Fighting Irish. How do you think that the bettors will be able to take advantage of this?
It's a difficult matchup in the opening week, especially from a handicapping standpoint, because the Fighting Irish have been so bad as home favorites historically. The Rice Owls coming off arguably one of their best seasons in school history. They do have some returning starters, but they don't have their returning quarterback and running back, first-string quarterback and running back from a season ago. But you don't have a lot of trouble as a coaching staff getting your team ready to face Notre Dame at Notre Dame Stadium in South Bend. So I think the Owls will be ready to go, but will they have the talent to really play as a double-digit underdog in Week 1 against Notre Dame?
Right, and considering that junior Everett Golson is coming back to Notre Dame, how do you think that that's going to help the team out?
All I've been hearing during the offseason is all systems go on his end. He's in better shape. He's a better thrower. He's been working with one of the better quarterback gurus in the entire country, George Whitfield, who's really made a name for himself appearing on ESPN's College Game Day and other shows on that network. So head coach Brian Kelly is ecstatic that he's back. And so they're expecting the best passing numbers that Notre Dame has been able to put up since his time in South Bend. And, of course, they have a powerful running game and 3 offensive line starters. So Notre Dame has a lot of offensive firepower to go against Rice.
Right, and with the Owls' defensive line being a bit undersized this season, particularly talking about defensive ends Derek Brown and Brian Nordstrom, do you think that they will be able to keep up with Notre Dame's running game?
That's a key factor because now Golson has that ability to go outside. They're going to really confuse the defensive line of the Owls in this matchup. They can go in between the tackles because of that undersize. They can virtually pound that group for an entire 4-quarter period, but they also could allow Golson to do a play fake and run and hit the edges. So the Owls have a lot to deal with on the defensive end, and that's another reason why I'm really leaning toward the Irish in this one.
All right, so you're leaning towards the Irish. Are you going to take them on the spread, or are you going to go straight up on them?
I'm going to recommend that viewers back the Fighting Irish in this one, but I'm not exactly sure what the Owls are going to do at the quarterback position. Of course, we're shooting this video at the end of July. There's still a month worth of information to come out, and I'm never really one to really tell people to unload backing Notre Dame as a home favorite. They haven't been very successful in that role but I do see them covering this number maybe by a field goal, but that's not really a big edge. But if I had to take a side, it's definitely Notre Dame.
All right, I appreciate it, Jeff. And for SportsbookReview.com, this is Dax Floyd. All right. I don't know. Was that all right, man? Or do you want me to make it a little longer? Or